Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Addiction Solutions with Roselle. I'm your host, Roselle Frederick White Sr., and I'm so glad that you could join me for another show. As I say in the beginning of every show, I want you to go to YouTube, go to the search engine, type in Addiction Solutions with Roselle, and subscribe to the channel. Now, you can tell your neighbors, family members, co-workers, church members, anyone you think that this information could help, just tell them. You don't have to accuse them because addiction consists of more than drugs and alcohol. And that's where a lot of people get lost because they think, oh, I don't mess with drugs, I don't mess with alcohol. But you could be addicted to other things. And there's overeating, there's sex, there's shopping, there's credit cards, there's gambling, all sorts of things that disrupt our lives. So this information is for that individual. And it doesn't point fingers at anyone because I myself am a recovering addict. Yes, 30 plus years in the streets with alcohol and drugs. And so by the grace of God, I have been able to see June 22nd, 1990 will be 32 years alcohol free. Now, I didn't say drugs for the simple reason is I had a slip with pain pills. And so I'm the one that got honest about the pain pills. I could have played games. This information is to help people. Man, I'm not out here to try to look good or make myself feel good. I was addicted to those pills. And I was in a pain management clinic. I had a licensed physician. I had insurance, everything above board. Nevertheless, I was hooked. I had to give pills to my wife. Please hide these. Please issue these. And when she'd go to work, I'd tear the house up and find them. And then I'd try to put everything back in place like I hadn't been looking for the pills. And so she would be so angry when she came home because she could see that the things were disrupted. And she'd come in the room and just throw the pills at me. Yes, almost lost my wife. And so why would I lie and say I'm not addicted to pain pills? So, again, by the grace of God, July the 13th, I'll have 5 years clean from pain pills. So I could go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and play games. And yes, I have 32 years or coming up on 32 years clean. And it's true, from alcohol. But if I leave out the part about the pain pills, then I'm lying. So I don't believe in that. Like I said, it's not by my ego. There's people that came up in the program with me, whether they're happy that I relapsed on pain pills, I really don't care. It's not about the quantity of years. It's about the quality of years. And if your years produce quality, then you don't have to worry about being criticized, because we're going to be criticized. People talked about me when I was dragging my butt in the street. They talked about me when I had a brand new car with 11 months clean. Yes, 11 months. My youngest son co-signed for me a brand new car. Never missed a payment. Yes, ethics. People trusted me. So people are going to trust you. All you have to do is what you're supposed to do. And when you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get criticism. So don't even worry about that. People talked about you when you were doing bad. They're going to talk about you when you're doing good. If you put this addiction down on a daily basis, because it has to be done daily, you cannot sit up and say, I'm going to get 10 years, 5 years, a year. You have to do this 24 hours at a time. And sometimes, man, if you read the NA literature, Narcotics Anonymous literature, it says sometimes it's seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. It's just like that. It could snap to go get high, or let's go to casino, or let's go get some scratch offs, or let's go shopping, or let's go use this credit card for something, or let's do this. That's how quick it snaps. So you have to use all of your support groups. And I mentioned support groups in the 21-point manual and the phase chart. I have done all of that. So you need to go back and look at the videos, which shows the support groups I gave, and all you have to do is go to the websites, type in the information, and they'll tell you the locations of all of the support groups. So what I said I was going to do is I was going to briefly go over a little bit of the 21-point manuals into the actual chapters. Now, chapter 1 says, do not use. Sounds simple. It's not. So, reading a little bit, and I know you'll give me some leeway to read a little bit of this. This is in the actual manual. Chapter 1 will be our starting point. I hope after you read the chapter, you will be able to understand what it takes to get clean, maintaining your clean time, and what to do if you relapse or use, if the addiction is not drugs or alcohol. As a recovering person or the family member of a recovering person, it is possible that you have gotten clean many times and your family has seen you get clean many times. The problem is staying clean, or a little thing that we leave out called maintaining the clean time. So when we speak of clean time, I want the reader to understand this means any addiction. Stop again. This means any addiction. When a person stops gambling, they are clean or abstinent from the addiction of gambling. When a person stops shopping, they are clean from the addiction of compulsive shopping. I want the reader to get the picture that being clean covers whatever your addiction may be. All right, so I'm going to stop right there because I want to emphasize this point. When we say clean, abstinent, it covers the gambit. See, well, a lot of people have a problem with recovery programs is they try to compare. And this program is about identifying. Addiction deals with emotions and feelings. So no matter what your addiction is, you're dealing with emotions and feelings. So what can I say except every time you get a good emotion or a bad emotion, you can't go to your addiction. What do you do, Roselle? You go to your support group meeting. You call your sponsor. You read your recovery literature. You do all of the things opposite of what you used to do. So if you follow the first 21 points in the manual, it definitely shows you what to do at that point when that addiction finally decides to take over. So I'm going to stop right here. Next week, I'm coming back. I kind of like this. I kind of like going into the actual manual and reading some of the actual chapters. So we're going to come back next week and continue with chapter 1. And so I look forward to seeing you next week. Stay blessed. I love you, and I appreciate all of your support.